And welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guest is the chairman of the African American Day Parade, and he's down with the board of directors with the whole crew. He's here to speak about the work that this organization is doing for our community and to highlight the most recent African American Day Parade event. So please welcome to the show, Yusuf Hasan. Yusuf, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Bob, once again.
All right. A great event, another successful year. I mean, we did two virtual events, and now we're here. What we do, the 51st and 52nd, 53rd, we're back live.
Live and in person.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. And this year we had a great parade where we highlighted our healthcare providers. Our theme were good health is essential.
Yes.
And we had some phenomenal grand marshals, including Dr. Michelle Henry, Sandra Lindsay, the first person to ever take the vaccination shot here in the city, in the state, in the country. Dr. Bernard Robinson, a great leader, director of emergency medical services of Manhattan, of Northwell Health Hospital. And we had Dr. Pamela Abner, great vice president and chief diversity officer for Mount Sinai Health
Yeah.
System. And we had Dr. Gary Butts, also a great executive vice president for diversity and equity and inclusion at Mount Sinai. But what's also important is that we have some phenomenal marshals at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Nicola Buchanan, another great sister who worked very hard in the community to bring about equity. And surely we had Dr. Louis Boyd, who is a great chair of the Ethics Committee at Memorial.
Yeah.
But also we had Chancellor David Banks
Yes.
of the school system, who I think was just important for us to highlight the health system and surely health for our young people and our children in our school systems. So it was a great parade. Great sponsors this year we had, and it was really good. Northwell Health, WBLS as usual.
Yeah.
Always on the front line with us to make sure this parade goes off well. And we had NAACP and the New York State Nurses Association, especially the Transportation Workers Union and the great Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture was one of our grand marshals, along with the Memorial and Northway Health in Mount Sinai. So it was a great occasion yesterday with the African American Day Parade, which was our 53rd celebration.
How was it at the mayor's office? I know there was a lot of excitement going on with that, and having the mayor behind it, it was a wonderful thing. And he promises to do more the following
Yeah,
year, next year.
our mayor, I love this mayor. Mayor Eric Adams invited us to be a part of the first reception ever for the African American Day Parade at Grayson Mansion. And it was great. Quite a
Yes.
few members were there, our board of directors and our grand marshals was there. And the mayor made a phenomenal speech in support of the African American Day Parade. And he promised us that he's going to make sure that this parade is always highlighted with the reception each year he's in office. And we'll be able to invite more of our community members, especially our volunteers and our seniors in our community who have been holding this thing together for years
Yeah.
and have had an opportunity to go to Grayson Mansion and meet with any mayor. And we want to make sure that that happens for our seniors.
Yeah. And Yusuf, give us a little history of the parade. I know I started out years ago with Hal Jackson. We had a big red tent, WBLS on it, and Hal Jackson, WB, and Clay Berry were broadcasting under that tent. I would jump in and out of the broadcast, but I was the guy mainly just in the streets, just cheering everybody on, talking to people on the microphone, and just having everybody come through and just talking about the people who were coming through from all over the country, basically all over the world.
Well, this parade has been going on for a long time. It started in 1969 right on Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, where it's still today. And our first Grand Marshals then was our great Congressman Adam Clayton Powell Jr. and the great Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm. And
Wow.
ever since then, we've been had this great parade right here in Harlem on 7th Avenue, now Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard. And with Hal Jackson and all those other great leaders we've had support this parade. It's just been a great, great ride, and continues to stay after 52 years.
Yes.
53 years past now. We leading up to our 54th year, and we will focus on our culture. But the culture of the African American community is just beautiful, and I think it's important that all of us support this parade on some level because it keeps our heritage alive and it showcases the absolute best and the brightest of our community, and it shows our unity and our
Yeah.
dignity and love for one another. This is important, especially nowadays when we see so much negativity in Harlem and the Harlems of this country, where our young people seems like there's so much violence and everyone talks about the violence, but what about the good? And this parade highlights our good young youth, and it showcases our parents and our grandparents as they sit under a tent and watch the fruit of their labor pass by on this day of celebrating our heritage and
Yeah.
our legacy. So it's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful to everyone who supported this parade throughout the years. And we've had some phenomenal grand marshals, Spike Lee, Ruby D, Ozzie Davis. We've had Queen Latifah, Muhammad Ali, you name it. We've
Yeah.
had some great grand marshals, and we'll continue to keep this legacy alive right here in
And,
Harlem.
and the young man, you had a couple of founders. The young man who was the chairman just before you, he started the parade years ago, and you were with him every step of the way.
Yes, sir, Mr. Abe Snyder.
Yeah.
Abe Snyder still alive, but he's not as well as he used to be. So he and I and Olalume, he's another founding member that's still living with us today. And we was at the press conference this past week with
Yeah.
the parade, and he was just phenomenal talking about the parade a few minutes and how it was established and how we are carrying it on. So
Yeah.
I'm proud to walk in the footsteps of these two great leaders and those other 11 other members, men and women, who established this parade
Yeah.
as the chairman. And I've been the chairman of this parade now for over 10 years, and we're trying to move it to the next level, which including other things that important to our community,
Yeah.
like the leadership program we've started. Um, at the St. Nicholas houses, we are having the literacy program for our children, and it was good to see them to get their books and learn to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Things went on the
Now,
pre-parade.
now, before we wrap it up, tell people where they can go for more information. You got the website, and then for people who missed the parade, can they see it? Did anybody take pictures of it? Did they videotape it?
Yes, yes. And matter of fact, you could also go to our website to see our two virtual parades
Yeah.
from 20 and 21. Because on the website www.africanamerican.dayparade.org, and you certainly can see some of the highlights from the parade this year. All of our grand marshals there, and it's just a great occasion for us to continue this legacy
You,
here in Harlem. And one last thing I want to say about this is that our former mayor, Dave Dinkins, said
yeah.
something that was very important for all of us at his last interview before the transition out of this life,
Yeah.
is that he said that this parade is one of the great vehicles that carries our culture forward and continues it. And he would like to see it last forever right here in Harlem. That was very powerful.
Yes.
And,
Very powerful.
and also, great, the great Arthur Mitchell said one time in his last interview before he passed away in 2019 was that he said you will go out and you'll get you something to drink and you'll get you some outfits, but this man is trying to raise money for the arts. He said you're not donating to the arts. It's like you're living in a desert.
Yeah.
So these two great men really pushed the button about how important it is for all of us to support our heritage and our legacy in this parade. And it is free to our
Yeah.
community. We just
Well,
watch people, our children,
well,
and
thank
we
you
just
so much.
pay.
You know we're going to be looking forward to next year's, the 54th annual. Well, I got to do a hard wrap right here. Thank you so much, Yusuf Hasan, Chairman, African American Day Parade Incorporated. We appreciate you. And we'll see you again. We'll be talking very soon.
Yes, sir.
All
Good
right.
day.
We'll take a break. I've got Bobby C. He's up next. He has the latest in the world of sports. Here we go. It's going to be great.